Hey guys, it's Maxi here and welcome to another Football Manager video. It's another video in our series of Football Manager memories, and today we kick off our first of a few for FM15. FM15 was a weird one for me. It was one of those games where it took me a bit of time to really find the save I really get torn into, but it ended up being one where there were two eventful journeys. Both won't be covered in this video, the next couple. We've got the stint at Motherwell, which stemmed from a last minute title winner all the way to a Champions League final, and of course the Hereford's save as well, the good old diffuse challenge for people who recall this. So we'll probably have 3 videos. This one's going to be covering a few teams across a few countries, and whilst it does look like I'm a manager of Leeds United, this stint only really lasted for a month. This one more saw me managing a few places, but what I want to talk about is Paderborn. At the time, Paderborn had just been promoted to the Bundesliga. At that time, they were top of the league at one point. They scored the 70-yard goal as well, which made the waves in social media way back in 2014. And yeah, an eventful save with 2 relegations, a promotion, and then it just really went tits up. And the final notes as well, 16th place means we lost both times in the relegation playoffs. So I just want to have a wee look at it, see the players I've brought in. There's always going to be a few strange ones, but it's going to be cool to look into regardless. I think there you can see why I was sacked. You know, that's not my forum, but it doesn't get much better. Just very, very bad. So let's have a look. What I want to check is straight to the first season, way back in 15-16. So that's sort of like 14-15. So you can see there it was a difficult start. You get the win in the German Cup, you win against Freiburg, but a lot of defeats there. Absolute hammering against Bayern Munich, Wolfsburg hammering as well. And it was the 2-legged affair against Dusseldorf where we went out 3-2 in aggregate. Lovely. An 88th minute goal as well. Lower tier, absolutely brilliant. Defeat to Braunschweig, defeat to Bielefeld and Cologne as well. Apart from that, good form again, only defeats in the second half of the season. Again, Cologne seems to have been a bogey team, Bochum and Allen, and 1860 Munich as well. Overall, consistency of wins seen us come back up before. Well, you look at that, you look at all those defeats there. A couple of 4-0s, 4-1s, 5-1s, bad crack. Decent recovery in the second leg of the season, but it was, of course, that playoff. And Kaiserslautern, who beat us 2-1 on aggregate with a 90th minute goal in the first leg, pretty much showing us. You can see a lot of pretty decent names. Let's say we'll get there. Second division, started well. Terrible run of form despite an 8-0 win in there. And eventually getting a sack. So, as we cast way back to 2014-2015, you know you're panicking when one of the signings you make is Dennis Strachan-Lassie. He came in as a target man. I would have been very surprised if he'd done much for us. And yeah, 6 appearances, no goals. Actually had a good spell at Union Berlin, I think that is. Scoring in 15 and 27 there after he went to 1860 Munich. Hernani came in. Don't know if he done much for us. Where are we? 13 games. Very, very average. So yeah, just 2 kind of signings to put us a bit more depth. Manity duo, Tyler Blackett came in. He's now playing straight in Nuremberg. And we also brought in Andreas Pereira, who's now playing at Luton. So yeah, he certainly hasn't developed quite like he has in real life. And Barry Bannon came in from Crystal Palace. So into the Bundesliga, we obviously went for relegation to the second tier. Try to get my mind back to this. And there you see the signings that I would usually make. So you brought in the likes of Danny Wilson from Hearts. We had brought in Sean Hutchison, Taylor Blackett come in permanently. Ones that stick out to me is definitely the loan signings of Sinan Kurt, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Nabil Bentaleb. We also had Marcus Scholl's son, Lucas Scholl, and then more Scottish players on the basis of Ryan Christie, Lee Griffiths, and Gary Mackay-Steven. Harry Wilson arriving from Liverpool, and Sasha Kijnen came in from Anderlecht. So quite cool to see that. Look at Thomas Kalas as well from Chelsea. And Lucho Gonzalez, that would have been near the tail end of the former Marseille player's career. see there put a massive 3 games for us. In terms of outs, so that was quite disappointing that we lost Kachunga. Kachunga was very good for us, obviously ended up at Huddersfield, but because obviously the situation, we lost him pretty early, and he went out there quite well for Frankfurt. And Stoppelkamp, again, very, very good for us. Versatile, which was a good option, but great profit made on him, and he went on to do well for the loan. So a few people were sold, a few people out on loan to, aid their development. And by the time we're back in the Bundesliga, you can see again a lot of loans, but again the standard of player a wee bit better again. Ron Robert Zieler on a permanent deal, Dani Osvaldo, we had Titan come in as another goalkeeper, loan deals for Marcus Llorente, Bertrand Traore and Alan Halovic, the outstanding players there. Then you're bringing in James Wilson, Zuculini came in. Just a real decent amount of players, but of course not really players that are suited, would be straight off suited to the German league and German language. If I'm right in saying, Karaman done okay for us, 5 and 22. I think it was because he was so prolific at Boy that we brought him in, but done a job and then started getting games for Hanover. In the final season, well, you can tell at times it started to get desperate. Still think there was some decent signings in there. I mean, that Nugent has wanted to become a pretty damn decent player for Newcastle. They sold him for 4.1 million after scoring 11 goals in 23 games, so well scouted there. Ivan, is he not highly rated? I'm sure. He's still at Paderborn, not really featured much. Not too bad, the Slovakian that was brought in from Sampdoria. Rick Shea coming in there as well. It's hard to remember who actually turned out pretty good. Marco Dabro doesn't seem to have done much. In fact, played twice for the team. You can see there, McQualley came in, Mason Bennett, Asamoah, there was some decent players as well. Tio Gutierrez, I was always a big fan of his, but just never really kicked on once we brought him in from Lazio. And Lewis Baker, someone played 20 games but never really kicked in. And then I panicked and signed Chris Boyd. I don't know that one either, that was very, very strange. They went back, they've sold for Marcus, as you know, and a couple of players there, but they're back in the top flight, sitting in 12th place when the save ended. It was quite cool to try a team that had just been promoted to the Bundesliga, one that in real life have obviously went all the way back down, ended up in the 3rd tier last season, but promotion up to the 2nd tier again. And yeah, it was quite a fun time, and yeah, it's really tempting me to go back to Germany as one of the possible saves for 19. At this moment in time, projects that interest me: Dortmund, potentially under Lucien Favre, possibly Inter with Lautaro Martinez, maybe a journeyman, I really don't know, but if you've got any suggestions, let us know. But that's the first part with Paderborn in the Bundesliga. We will now crack on to our second save of FM15. Our second save, unfortunately, not a very long one. It was at Valencia, and I just wanted a wee chance to manage in Spain. It's not somewhere I frequent very often. See there, so close to winning the Champions League back at the start of the millennium. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get over the line. But it was fun to go and manage in Spain. As you can see here, just a one season, but we did finish 4th in La Liga. So we'll check that out, and we'll check, as I say, the very few transfers that were made. Let's quickly get back to this. I say a lot of this stuff I'm just retracing and seeing. So we did finish in the Champions League spots. Barcelona absolutely smashed the league, with Atletico and Real close behind. We just managed ahead of Granada and Levante for that final Champions League spot, and a pretty poor season, has to be said, for Sevilla, down in 8th place. Could maybe argue Bilbao possibly could have done a bit better. Not too sure who they would have had at that time. And yeah, my old friends Elche, who I knew would have encountered before we had that connection. But what I wanted to quickly check as well, 2014, would Griezmann have been a player of Sociedad? I don't think he was. I think he'd have been at Atleti already, or my eyes are deceiving me. Let's actually see if we can find that. Always good to search this stuff mid-video. And Anton Griezmann would have been at Atleti already. was actually pretty damn good. What did he do in that first season? So that would have been his first season at Atletico. Scored a mere 4 goals in 29 games. Now that's interesting. Obviously, poor strikers usually bound to encounter one that we had. So obviously, 2 seasons there. We lost Paco Alcacer pretty quickly to Wolfsburg. That was out of our control. You have to remember at this point in time as well, Valencia were undergoing the move to the new stadium, so the money wasn't there. Hence the fact that that player went. And we need a bit more depth in the team as well. So our signings, admittedly, I did anticipate being there for a while. Obviously not the case. So Gohan Gul was the first one brought in for the 19s. A little small matter of Marco Asensio coming from Mallorca. Again, someone that would have been great long term, but of course we never quite played long enough. But he went to Racing Santander on loan. Ante Koric, again another one that's dropped into the Mestalla team. But again, with someone with good potential, and if I can click the right button, you can see there he had a loan spell. If I just played at B level, played 3 times for the A team. One player that did play for us, Pedro Obiang, now West Ham. So he was someone we did play quite regularly, 34 games after his move from Sampdoria. Pretty strong for us. Lewis McLeod came in, but I'm pretty sure he'd have been one for the future as well. You can admit, 8 goals, 3 assists, 5 man in the matches. Pretty damn good for a central midfielder. Suso came in, but again, 18 matches, wasn't really a starter. And Andre Santos, I think, was brought in basically to add depth, and he didn't even play. So, already up against it, losing Alcacer. Second season, planning wasn't great. Negredo had the £20 million mandatory clause, so last season 8 goals in 27, next season 1 in 8. Not particularly great for Negredo. We also brought in Zakari Balkari, who came in, he's only played 5 games, not really done a lot, but was a good Bosman to pick up, as was Hatem Ben Arfa. So not a lot of change in this particular team. I had to go with the sweeper again. You know, it seems I've been quite keen on that for many a year. I've always seemed to play with, as I say, a back 3. It has always been a favoured thing, but just look at that team now and you're like, well, a lot of them do have starring roles in particular places. Diego Alves in goal. Obiang, another player that had transitioned from a central midfielder or a defensive midfielder into a libero. That's quite cool. And then in front of him, 2 Premier League defenders in Mustafi and Otamendi. João Pereira was still pretty damn decent back then. I think he's fairly went downhill since, but, well, 31, he would have been in 2015, so but he was good coming off that back of that move from Sporting, but never really kicked on. But he was pretty good. Gaia's still there. He's always linked with a big move away every year. Dani Parejo, Zuccolini was in the centre midfield, and then you had Ben Arfa playing behind Rodrigo and Alvaro Negredo. We look through there, I'm pretty sure Luego was good. Piatti was still pretty decent then. Guardado as well. Obviously players that have left, Rodrigo de Paul. Lucas Orban was pretty damn decent. And this was Charles Gil before he left to go to Aston Villa. But as I say, it was an enjoyable save. I feel limited when I go to Spain, if I'm being perfectly honest, because you only have the option to play the 25-man squad. I quite like a big squad, so there's opportunities, you know, when there's like a lesser team that you can shove 3 or 4 younger players on the bench and give them an opportunity. Quite cool we played Malero as well in pre-season. That was quite a nice wee hang there to see. And of course we won, but gave them a bit of money. You can see 1 defeat in the first half of the season. That was an away trip to Getafe. 2-1 win over Barcelona. We didn't play Madrid, so that's probably why, but a 3-0 win over Atletico as well. Good one away to Sevilla on the opening day. And then, again, well, there you go, there's where the season curtailed. So we were probably on to challenge Barcelona until Deportivo and that horrible end to the season happens. You see there, season starts back up, the win away to Real Madrid after a small friendly against Alicano. Couple of draws, get the form back, and then as soon as after the trip to Atletico's Elche, Deportivo, Athletic Bilbao, Barcelona, you can understand some of those fixtures, but Granada, Rayo, Eibar, and an absolute tanking in Madrid where Gareth Bale ran the show with 4 of the 5 goals and Musacchio with the other. I just actually want to have a look at Madrid and Barcelona. So Madrid had brought in Mats Hummels, William Carvalho, Andre Hahn was big at this time, Sebastian Rudy and Nani. First season they just brought in Mustachio with selling Khedira and Fabio Coentrao. And if we find Barcelona, Stefan Savic was their only signing in the first year, and none, because they sold him in the second season. If we quickly find Atletico, Ruben Garcia, Christian Ansaldi, any big sales, Siqueira, Leo as well, and Pino was only signing. I don't think they quite anticipated how good he was going to be, because as you'll notice in the next part of this video, Jose Maria Jimenez is quite an easy player to get a hold of. And with that, pause it there. We'll move on to see where I had him as a permanent player, and probably one of my favourite defenders to have used in Football Manager. Our final save for this part of the FM15 video, of course we'll have two more documenting other saves, is actually one that took place on, well, this YouTube channel. There is a playlist for it working somewhere. Older videos, probably not the greatest in the world, but we did have a very successful Rangers save. We took them over. First season we were in the Championship, we won that quite convincingly. We came into the Premier League very poor in the first season, finished 5th, which 100% would have got them sacked in real life. But the board persisted with us, and we ended up winning 6 league championships after that, as you can see there, the latest of which 21 points clear of Celtic with 101 points. But I will say, if you go either Rangers or Celtic, it does get pretty easy to win the league after a stage. If you manage it correctly, if you recruit correctly, bring in players that are good for sell-on value, you can start spending some big money on and big wages and can flood the team with some really exceptional talents, which we certainly did here. And they're not as bad now, but the AI manager of the other old firm team just certainly isn't quite up to par. So I'm going to quickly run through more so the team we've got just now, a few of the more recent signings as well, because I mean the players in Season 1, Season 2 certainly pale in comparison to the squad assembled just now. What I want to quickly touch on as well, I just had a look at players who are interested in signing for us. Don't know if we can't afford them, but it's still cool to know the likes of Saul was interested in signing. He's at PSG in this one. That's someone that we found the level we had risen Rangers' reputation back to was enough to have someone that calibre interested in us. Someone had stayed in Monaco and was interested, Mr. Anthony Martial. So that was quite cool to see. Not getting the regular game for Monaco, admittedly, but yeah, quite cool that he was interested. And if you look down as well, Paulo Dybala, pretty much in one of the other FMs, it would have been I think it would have been 16. But I took him to Man City as part of the 51 challenge, and he was outrageous. But crazy to think in this, he went to Sampdoria from Palermo. Of course, we know the story in real life, Palermo, Juventus, league titles for Dybala. But quite cool to see that. Lukaku was in there as well. Everybody's old hero, Carlos Ferrero, in there as well. And probably a good few other ones, Jonathan Silva. But what's going to be interesting is Jan Oblak. Well, quite a few of the wonder kids that we know of yesteryear and some of the present currently rock up in this Rangers team. I actually just want to say this guy, Erin Gungo, who again looks incredible. We had him on loan. He wasn't very good. We tried to bring him back, and yeah, that's what he turned into. Incredible. But I mean, this Rangers team was phenomenal. I mean, the player we were able to bring in, the calibre. We'll just go through transfers, but we'll go back to front. So you see there, straight off the bat, 7.5 million, Ryan Gold, bringing somebody of that calibre to the club. 7.2 average rating, 6 goals, plenty of assists, maybe not a regular, but someone who wasn't getting a game in Paris. We brought him on, and he was really good for us. Borges, did he play? Yeah, I suppose so. Left winger, good determination, tricky, pacey, can cross a ball, can dribble. That's what you're really looking for. Plenty of goals. Maybe not as many assists as we'd have liked, but nonetheless, good option. And then you see Kingsley Coman, and you wonder how the hell was he one transfer listed by me, and two failed to make it in Scotland. I mean, you look at his stats, it's surely a no-brainer that he would play every week. But yeah, loan signing the season prior, just never really kicked on. But crazy when you look back at a player of that calibre playing here. Rosella was a new gen. I don't think he'd have played much. That's too many. Schmeichel was really good in another save. Came with a lot of good technical attributes, maybe not mentally and physically. But the guy was playing for Inter the season before, and he was expected to kick on. Didn't. Then you see some of them that are wild. Gabriel Barbosa. 12 goals in 11 starts and 13 sub appearances. He was brought in on a free transfer after not really featuring much from PSG. This is when Gabigol would have been probably the prime Gabigol years, so crazy to see him. But he was outstaged by the man Malcolm. Absolutely incredible that we got him to Rangers. Again, I believe he was out of PSG at the time. Yep, so he went for Corinthians to PSG, barely featured. We paid buttons for him. And 16 goals in 24 games is amazing. And this is way before, of course, that Barcelona move. China Cherdy, I think he just came in to cover at the back, but he was pretty solid. On the decline, but good marking, and was always going to do a job domestically. Again, not really playing for United. Arsov, I think, was a new gen, but featured a lot. 7.56 average rating. Again, tackling, marking, and heading, that's the three I look for in a defender. If I can get passing, great. I just want most of the mentals to be good. Everything there apart from leadership, but again, I'm more experienced centre half, I'll have that. And physically, he's okay, not the worst in the world. Avi Mankilo was in. Billy Valet, another one of those centre backs brought in from PSG. You can see there, 37 games, 3 goals. The 3 key stats there. Physically good, apart from his acceleration. Mentally, just off the ball, but positioning good. Okay leadership, and he was someone they only just signed, we weren't playing him, and we just said, we'll take him. Bruce McCabe wouldn't have featured much. Izzy Brown again, maybe through rotation. 12 starts, 6 appearances, 15 goals. Physically really, really good. Could finish, a couple of decent mentals. But he was a case of, we just kept loaning him in. I mean, look at that, 18 and 24, 24 and 31, 34 and 34, 22 and 26. It just made perfect sense to bring in Izzy Brown, and look at that career stats, just because he came up north. But it's cool seeing some big names as well. Mo Besic turned into a good player, played 27 times for us, so he was pretty good on loan from Sociedad. Lukman Haruna was his backup. He was highly rated years and years ago, and never really got to a massive level. It was quite expected when he was at Monaco, so just one of those things. Karim Rekic, again, came in as backup, but still a decent name that we brought in, and someone again transfer listed from Chelsea. Baffling. If you look at this one now, you're thinking, how the fuck? Joshua Kimmich, what a player he is in real life. At this time he was just a DM, he hadn't been retrained to a wing back, but you know, frightening you look back and see these kind of players playing in Scotland. Just it was incredible to get somebody like that here. Done okay in his short spell there. In terms of out that season, again I say you buy cheap, you sell big. Abu Dallo 15 million, Alfredo Osak was a new gen 13.75, Lucas Anderson 8.5, Craig Whiting 7.5, Danny Wilson went to Charlton for 7 million. Wow, even back then I had Nadir Shifchi at Rangers. Oh, who'd have thought that, eh? Big Nadir back then. But no, it's quite cool. I'm just going to go through the ends because we'll see when like Sedalio and all that come in. We'll just target more so the dearer ones in the free transfer. So Moy Gomez, I'm pretty sure, was really good at that time, but he came in, really never done much, was sold to Slovan Liberec. Jason Cummings, something in real life. Sisto is there, 21 assists, 15 goals in his last season. I don't think we got him off the bat, not from Midtjylland, but again, not getting a game at Milan. We swooped, and again, he's going to thrive in that environment. 47.5 wages. It's definitely enough in a Scottish team, especially Rangers Celtic, would pay this day and age, but once, as I say, you keep getting in the Champions League, you keep getting the Champions League money, you're selling players for big money, you can afford to allocate a bit to that kind of budget. Felix Paslak, never really kicked on for us, but again was highly rated in Football Manager. Bigger name signings in terms of free: Sven Bender came in, Florian Thauvin, 11 assists, 4 goals in his appearances for the club last season. Again, someone really great for that level. João Mario went on loan, Jorge Zakore, Gary Cahill, Gary Medel. The reputation Rangers have in games certainly gives you a good base, but if you can improve it and recruit well, it's only going to get better and better. In terms of players that were sold that year, Stefano Fuentes was another youngster. Again, you bring him in young, so that's £1 million as a new gen from Dynamo. So £2 million from them, we sell him for 12.5. So it's just cashing in at the right time. I'm just looking through some of the names there. Benedict Gimber, I think we paid buttons for him. Turned out to be an absolutely stellar player for us, and we signed him for the grand fee of a free transfer and paid with 26 games for us, and we'd sold him to Man City for 12.25 million. So it's all about taking some players and giving them the right environment. With Gianluca Guidino again from Bayern. Season before, Ander Herrera coming in for 6 million was just again bringing a bit of quality in. Done well in the first season, but obviously better players come in, so we had to let him go, and he'd been on a big wage. There's Dalio there. You can see there, physically a beast, mentally very good, a lot of good technical attributes as well. But someone, Bosman from Monaco, 2 good seasons, 2 very good seasons. You sell him to Everton. So just looking through here, there's Oslak, who's a new gen. So you can see his stats, and you can see easily why. 2 seasons at the club and selling for big money. Pretty much the same philosophy I've used at NEC, but certainly one that works. 23 million made that season, and that was through sales of, we'll get to him in a minute. But other folk we brought in, Masimovic, we wanted to do well, sold him. Well, so we didn't even sell him, we brought him in on a loan, but he was still quality. You know what I mean? He was always somebody that could cover in a variety of positions, which is always what you want. And with this guy was the man. Many moons ago in old FMs, he was the man. Never really done much at Juve. We took him on loan, never done much. £21 million loss as he went to Pisa after a failed spell in Turin. But quite crazy to see that. Just going to go through the bigger transfers, as I say. Andy Robertson coming in. He's still playing for us. Look at him, just everything is really good there, apart from his passing. Maybe became a bit more angry. But stellar signing. A couple of good seasons at Hull. They get relegated, and that's when we swooped in. Similar to Liverpool in real life. If I remember other players that were really key for me, Skop done well. He was someone, 30 appearances, 6 goals, so he was okay. But still got him a good move to Fiorentina. We also brought in this man. This is the one I want to cover. So, Jimenez, for some reason, just never made it at Atleti. We took him in loan twice before signing him in a free transfer. Man City, I think he might have had a release clause. I think that's how we got the deal done. But £8 million for a season's work was just fantastic, and again it allowed us to reinvest in the team further down the line that year. So another player we'd invested in, Javi Quintilla. There was 2 players from Barcelona B I always took. It was Javi Quintilla and it was Gerard Gumbo. Quintilla covered left back and centre back. You can see here again, the first season loan was okay. Brought him in a free, was really good, and that encouraged a £7 million bid from Celta Vigo. So that was quite cool to see. Other players you can see departing, Sandro, Mili Jedinak. So we did make some signings to take the club to the next level. We can see there Ante Koric on loan, Zaya Brown, Gumbaya coming in. He was pretty okay for us. Disappointing he went in a free, but we got a stellar near 100 games, or over 100 games playing for the club. That season again, you're selling not big but consistent. Lewis Dunk went, Braga, there's a new gen. No, he's real. But just making sure you're spending less than you're bringing in, and then you can push a bit more to wages. Even back in the first season in the Premier League, Yedlin, that won't even be the first season, it'll be quite far in. But Yurchenko is someone I'll always will look for in the FM. He was quality for me. Technically very good. Stats in that first season were ridiculous. 18 goals, admittedly quite a few pens, a lot of assists. He'd done okay the following seasons after that, but nothing was going to top that first season. when he came in on a free transfer from Leverkusen. Bring in Kevin Trapp as well. He was basically my goalkeeper the whole way at Rangers. You can see they're playing countless games, nearly averaging over 15 clean sheets nearly every season. Are the first two, 21 clean sheets in 35 games one season. Incredible. Just looking through again, Pereira, Yedlin have covered, Sadianko, a couple of guys I brought in from Paderborn that I'd obviously enjoyed using when I was playing there. Karaman again with it, Paderborn. How did he do for us actually? That's interesting. So we took him to Rangers. He actually had a 1-2 goal scoring ratio. Very, very interesting, and got him a move to Borussia Mönchengladbach. So quite cool there. But it was, I say, a really fun save. A lot of these bargain basement ones, Billy Mackay, players that you just think are going to take you out the position you were in and basically get you up the league. Human Tariq, remember him, the old Wonder Kid. We've got in there Chuk Kouate, Gary Medine, Jason Denier. Crazy when you look back at it. And the first signing that kicked it all off, former FM Wonder Kid, Adam Campbell. So that is the first part. As I say, we do have coming up, we've got the Hereford save. If anybody remembers that, I'd like to see the hell of a run we went with them. And a little trip down memory lane to a Versus series I had at the time with an old friend. Still haven't forgiven him, from Mark O'Brien. So I'm definitely going to look into that. Unfortunately, I think I did another series that was between me and Chris, but because of the network game, obviously I don't have the save for that. But that was Orlando City versus New York City when they just came into the league. It might not have even been for FM15, but that was incredible. Taking Billy Mackay and James Vincent to the MLS, and surprisingly, James Vincent outperforming Kaká, which I still can't believe. But we'll have that in one episode, and we'll cover the Motherwell save, everything from that famous first championship to many titles in a row, the Champions League nights, to yet another FM Sun. So cheers for watching, it's much appreciated if you stayed all the way through. Let us know what your memories are at FM15. And again, if you've got any ideas where it can go for FM19, open to suggestions. There's still 7 odd weeks to go, maybe less. But let us know, and we'll see what we can make happen. But cheers for watching, much appreciated. Take it easy. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.